Welcome back everyone, I'm Plays Games, this is EVE Online. I am once again sitting inside a Ferox battle cruiser, so it's time for another level 3 mission. And the mission we're doing today is Angel Extravaganza. This is one of the bigger and better level 3 missions. Very much like the level 4 version, which you've seen many times on this channel before, there are lots of different rooms, including an extra special bonus room. We will be doing the bonus room, this is a full clear series. To get into the bonus room, we require an Angel Palladium tag, which I have procured in advance, waiting for this mission, and here it is. It only costs 4,000 ISK. They're not difficult to buy, they're available everywhere. As we can tell from the name of the mission, it is indeed against Angel Cartel. And we'll be fine. Angel Cartel are primarily weakest against explosive. We only do kinetic and thermal, but their secondary weakness is kinetic, so we will be fine. We are being paid a whopping 791,000 ISK for completing this mission, with 2,563 loyalty points on top of that, and if we complete it within 6 hours, another great big chunk of cash in the form of 872,000 ISK. It is one system over, I do believe. Yes, it is. So let's accept and go and kill some angels. Okay, we're in the mission system on the way to the mission. As usual, I've only turned on the Hardeners. We will make a decision about what we're going to do with the tracking computer when we land and see at what range everything is. Now, in the final bonus room of this mission will be 4 battleships, so we are going to have to be slightly careful around them. And also in that final pocket are a lot of elite frigates, which will warp jam us, so we're going to have to be very careful. But in the level 3 version of this mission, there is a building in the final bonus room which can drop faction loot, and I know it does because I found it before.
Warp drive active.
The only thing you get in the level 4 bonus room is lots more bounty. In the level 4 version of the mission, the bonus room has no building which drops faction stuff. The only special drop in the level 4 version is the silo that drops a random implant in room 4, I do believe it is. Well, these guys are a million miles away, so this is definitely going to be thorium and optimal range script. Well, luckily for us, thorium reloads in 5 seconds, optimal range script loads instantly. And bingo bango bongo, optimal range 68, fall off 92. So these guys are exactly between that, so we'll hit them right from where we are. I cannot remember how many rooms there is in the level 3 version. I think it's 4. And then the bonus room is number 5. We'll soon find out, won't we? Well, we seem to be hitting them fine, even though we're using our medium long range, medium damage ammunition, and it's only firing kinetic. Well, it's fighting 109 kinetic and 88 thermal. And these guys only have 34% kinetic resist. If we were firing lasers at these guys, it would be a bit more of a pain in balls, because 54 EM and 44 thermal resist. How about this defeater? What's his resistance like? Very much the same. I could of course have gone to the bother of getting some warrior drones, because warriors are the explosive firing drones, but I couldn't be bothered. Quite happy to stay with the thermal firing hobgoblins, because hobgoblins do have a higher damage modifier, which kind of makes up for being the wrong damage type. Sure, the hobgoblins do something like 99 DPS, and if we were to change to warriors it would be something like 80, so we'd lose 10% damage in order to change the damage type, and I don't think it's worth that trade-off, to be honest. Correct damage types are not quite as important in level 3s as they are in level 4s. Well, these guys spawned right up under my face, which is why I quickly reloaded both the tracking computer and the guns to the short range stuff. Sure, there's another spawn in this room. Yep, and these guys are again a million miles away. So let's reload to thorium. I've turned the tracking computer off, wait for that to finish its cycle, because its cycle's quite long. Change over to optimal range, and here we go again. The Angel Palladium tag in your cargo is not consumed, so you only need one of them, and keep them inside your level 3 running ship at all times, just in case you get this mission. If indeed you want to risk the bonus room, it can be worth it. I have found domination modules, which are the Angel Cartel Dead Space modules. Not Dead Space. Faction. What are they, Dead Space? I think that is Dead Space, yeah. No, Dead Space would be Gist and Gistum. Do excuse me while I get my wording completely wrong. So yeah, we can find Domination Faction modules in the bonus room. Right, that is room 1 done. We shall reload to antimatter, take the gate, turn the tracking computer off.
Drive active.
I will not ungroup the weapons. I will just carefully take a look at the range before we go. And also before we go, I need to cancel warp and bookmark a wreck. There we are. Now we can go.
Warp drive active.
That would have been embarrassing. That's ended a few seconds onto the runtime. Forgetting to bookmark a wreck. Naughty, naughty. Okay, we have light missile batteries and some stuff which is all up in our face. In which case it's tracking speed and antimatter. And we'll deal with these gun turrets later. The ships which move are a bigger problem. Light missile batteries are not an issue, as we can tell from our shield, which is pretty much full. Even though the missile batteries are a red box, which means they're actively firing at us, and one of these cruisers is as well. But thanks to our resists and our excellent fit, our shield doesn't seem to care. Oh no, I do see a tiny sliver of red appearing on my shield. What are we at? 97%? 99% shield, okay. I think we're going to be fine here. I think we might survive. Here's more bad guys. They're much longer range, so let's thorium and just cut the tracking computer as it finished the cycle. Let's pop the frigates. Ooh, almost one volleyed it. Took a couple of volleys. And then we'll do the gun turrets, and then we'll do the 2 cruisers. Oops. Fingers not working. Just hitting random buttons with my fingers. There we go. Goodbye turret, get off my scope. That will have dropped 100 units of light missile ammunition. Let's bookmark a wreck right now before we forget. There we are. Now Mr. Noctis can come back and find it. Hey, that one dropped some loot as well. Nice. Free missiles for us then. Shame we don't use missiles, but you know. They will be melted down and turned into antimatter and thorium medium charge. So again, this is why you want long range for missions in general. These guys are a little bit close, so once this one dies, we will quickly reload. And just stop the tracking computer in anticipation. Reload to antimatter, reload to tracking speed. Everything's now been target locked. Goodbye little frigate. And goodbye little frigate, jolly good. Oh, 2 battle cruisers, wow. Battle cruisers on level 3 missions, eh? The wonders will never cease. Don't like grouped weapons because they either all hit or they all miss. And I'd actually prefer to have them separate, just so I can see what each gun is doing. See, that one missed and that one missed, but the other 4 hit. If that had been a group, the whole group would have missed, or the whole group would have hit. Whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing is endlessly debated. Boop. Alright, end of that room then.
Warp drive.
Again, I'll just turn off the tracking computer, it'll reload to antimatter, and then we'll see what awaits us next. That was room 2. This is room 3, which has a cruiser and a battle cruiser pre-spawned in it at antimatter range, I'm going to say. That's the battle cruiser. Come on, down you go. Oh, not quite. There we are. Okay, and let's spawn more, which are close, so we'll lock up the frigates first. I'll just preheat my guns, they instantly fire as soon as we get a lock, and it might instantly evaporate a frigate. I hate the locking time on this ship, I really do. I've been thinking about trying to maybe get a sensor booster on this, like maybe lose a shield hardener, but nah. It would speed up the run times by a few seconds. A few seconds per frigate does add up over quite a few frigates, but you know, the run times are fast enough. I mean, the tank has never really ever gone below 50% in any mission, so we could do with losing some tank, but I can't be bothered. Well, that was a very quick room. Very quick indeed. Onwards, I guess.
Warp drive active.
Wow, not expecting that. That was too easy. On to room 4. Well, we are chewing our way through this mission. And welcome to room 4. Okay, we got some stuff right up in our face, so tracking computer on, mash all the turrets up, and then we'll get the cruiser. Yeah, our shield is showing signs of actually being shot now. Ah, I see. Sentry Tower Mark II. And we're not moving, and it's at very close range, which is why we're getting hit quite hard. For a little while at least. These Mark 1s just explode very quickly. Cruiser hasn't even noticed we're here. Maybe he thinks there's a fireworks display or something happening. Some kind of music festival. He's still completely oblivious. Oh no, he's noticed now. Oh, he's actually firing on us, so he is probably artillery fit. It's not going to do him much good. Right, let's change this to optimal, and then change these to thorium, and then bash this guy. He was on red box, and now he's changed to being on yellow. So he was shooting at us, and now he's just on direct approach. Feel free to directly approach me and my turret weapons, and have nice low angular velocity. It's not going to do you much good. Pop. There he goes. Really? Really? That was it? Okay. That was room 4, I guess. Then on to room 5. Again, I'll just turn the tracking computer off, reload to antimatter. So much for this being an extravaganza. We've had 4 rooms and we've absolutely blazed our way through them. Poor Noctis is going to have to come all the way into this room to get 1 cargo cannon, 1 wreck, which has no loot in it. An Angel Cartel salvage is garbage. Okay, these guys are obviously right up in our face, so that's tracking computer. Yeah, tracking script. Can't target, lock these guys. Okay, this is the final room, so that gate leads to the bonus room. So expect quite a few enemies in this room. Good, that guy just disappeared instantly. That's what we like to see. And that guy's disappeared. 2 cruisers. Just get the guns flashing on their own so they'll fire as soon as something gets locked. There they go, automatic firing. That's what we like to see. And there we go, another one gone. Should bookmark a wreck, I suppose. There you go, 5 rooms. So there's 6 rooms in total in this mission. Oh hello, you guys are all really far away, so let's thorium you guys. You can probably start firing. Oh, it doesn't matter, the tracking computer was almost ready. There we go, and these guys are they're actually beyond my target range. Might have to move. Can't imagine that, having to move in a mission. We are going to have to move, because these idiots are going to get stuck behind that, aren't they? Yes, they're just bumping around inside that bit of scenery. Again, that's a really annoying thing about missions. The AI is absolutely appalling, and the placement of things and the spawning of things is stupid. Things spawn really close to giant bits of scenery, and then they just get stuck on it. Like he's actually inside the model. It is dumb as all hell. Right, let's approach the cruiser. Might as well reload. What is our maximum targeting range on the ship? It's 80 something, isn't it? Oh, 93. Ooh. In that case, we'll probably one-shot this Thrasher. Oh, almost. And we're in range of the Primus already. Alright, fair enough. I didn't have to move that much. Yeah, cool. Alright. We didn't have to move very much at all, because this ship is really long range. That again would be a really nice thing to have for a sensor booster. Just to extend the targeting range a little bit more. As we know, even though the fall-off range is 92, guns will hit all the way out to double fall-off range. In fact, they will hit way beyond that. At double fall-off range, your chance to hit drops to 1%, but it remains 1%. As long as you can target lock something, you have a 1% chance of hitting it. Which is why guns are better than missiles in certain applications. Right, these guys are actually antimatter range, so let's tracking speed and antimatter these guys. Jolly good, that's one down. And two down, and then the battlecruiser. A pleasing number of battlecruisers in this mission so far. There's been quite a few of them. This is what all level 3 missions should be like. As I said, all missions need a significant uptick in their difficulty level, and therefore the amount of bounty and loot. Larger ships have better loot tables. Okay, blue message in local probably means this is the final boss, so let's thorium and optimal range these guys. Okay, these spider drones are just going to charge at us. We should probably approach the boss. Just the one squirt of optimal range. I don't think there's any hope that our guns will hit a spider drone. They kinda did. Alright, we got one of them. Was not expecting that. Alright, we got both the spider drones. Well, huzzah! And the boss is in target range. I'm just going to stop and turn my Microwarpdrive off. Well, that went well. I was expecting to have to put the drones out and let them slowly grind down the spider drones. Spider drones are annoying because they're very, very small and very, very fast, and even light combat drones have trouble taking them down. Well, this is the big boss of the whole thing. He's not a Dead Space overseer. He's not got any special resists. He's just a named NPC. And he's going to drop like a sack of potatoes. And there he goes. Mission complete. But we are, of course, going into the bonus room. So let's change over to antimatter, and we'll leave the tracking computer turned off so we can make a decision about the script. Just check we have a rec in here. Yes, we do. The way to check it, obviously, I timestamp them. You right click the one with the biggest time, and if it says approach location, it means you're in that pocket. If it's not in that pocket, it will say warp to, so right click, approach means we have a bookmark in this location. Okay. Here we go.
Warp drive active.
I'm going to leave the weapons grouped in case we need to reload, in case everything's at a long range. Palladium tag, not consumed, it's still in our cargo. Just about have enough ammunition to do this. Okay, 4 battleships, 1 gun turret, and quite a lot of elite frigates, I believe, if my memory serves me well. Yes, it does. What range are they at? Long range. Right. Thorium. Okay, he says, I only asked you to do the first 5 rooms. This is not part of the mission. You're on your own. Be careful. Whoops. No. I wanted to ungroup my weapons. Because these are elite frigates, and as such they will web and jam. And I don't want to be webbed and warp jammed. Okay, the Battleships are actively firing on us, because of course they are, because they're battleships, are long range, and they're all E-warring, which is target painter, to make our signature radius big, which makes us much easier to hit for the battleships. Luckily for us, all the frigates seem to be on direct approach, and they're being hit quite easily. Okay, it looks like Terzam's stash is not an Overseer's dense space structure, it's just a spawn canister. That's nice. That's very nice indeed, I like that. There is an Angel battle station in here. It drops like generic trade loot, like VIPs and janitors and stuff like that. It's got like 500,000 hit points, so feel free to waste hours killing that. I ain't gonna. I'm just happy to plunk away at these guys with thorium, to be honest. Or am I? We're getting lots of penetrates and smashes, which is what we want, because he is pretty much dead on our optimal range. Penetrates, smash, hits, they're all good. Hits is like 1 times listed damage, penetrates is like 1.2, smashes is up to 1.5, and wrecks are 3 times. Being Angel Cartel, they are shield tanked, so as soon as the shields go down, his armour should start taking a bit of a beating. Our shield is holding fine. I'll just mouse over just to check. 85, 83. Yeah, his armour's going down pretty nicely now. They are closing range, so I think they're going to want to get close. Yeah, they're firing, as you can tell from the tracer rounds, they are firing autocannons at us.
A module has run out of charges.
As soon as the weapons reload, I'm going to change over to antimatter and the other script, and we're just going to slash across the front of them like that. I really want to be able to get rid of at least one of these guys. I don't want to keep it range, but I think I'm going to have to. Just to grind down this first one. Just to remove some DPS in the field. And then we'll do the other Warlord. He should theoretically be slightly easier to kill because he's less bounty. As we know, the peak shield recharge rate is something like 35%, so once we get to that, that's when we need to panic. Once we get to below 50% shield, that's when we need to start paying attention. And panic stations is when it gets to like 35, that's when we really need to start flying smart. But we're keeping it at range at 40, which is fine because optimal range 34, fall off 53, so 40 is just about right. Looks like we're dead on 40ish? I don't know, we are. Right, they're approaching us faster than we can move, that's fine. We'll keep them lined up. The shield is holding fine at about 60 odd percent. What's it on? 72. There we go, 72. And the more of these we kill, the higher up that's going to go, because less damage is going to be incoming. The turret has gone into yellow box, because we're far enough away now, which is nice. Let's turn on tactical camera, see how far away everything is. Let's just bookmark this wreck. And that is 6 rooms, which is nice. Is he going to die before we reload? Possibly not. Or maybe. Come on, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, right. Who's the next lowest bounty? Gist Saint. Let's line ourselves up with that. Shield is still 72. He's still at a decent range. Let's just open fire. So far, so good. Let's have a little look at this Macario. No, they aren't orbiting us. When is he firing? It looks like this one's actually artillery fitted. Can't quite tell. Then we hold Alt and scroll in to change the point of view, the field of view I should say. I cannot tell what kind of weapons that is. It looks like dual 650 artillery. Okay. You do you. And this one also seems to have artillery. Yeah, so it was the other ones that were firing. It was definitely the other ones that were firing the autocannons. These guys are artillery fit. But it's fine, we're slowly grinding them down. How much damage are we doing? 590, well, that's including the drones. Turrets 491, yeah. 490 is a little bit iffy for killing battleships. You really want over 500. But 400 does the job, as we see. Right, one more guy, and then one turret. And the shield, even in the bonus room, is never dipped below 72%, which is fantastic. But only because we smashed all the frigates before they could get into webifying range, because that would have been bad. Very bad. Just double check, it's... The bookmark is in this room, yes it is. I'm just going to approach the tower, you know what, let's just go for it. Right, one turret to take out, and we'll switch over to thorium for that. I will show you what's in the stash. Actually, we should pick that up now, because if I hand the mission in, that's going to disappear. I almost made a terrible, terrible error just then. I was going to say, we'll see what's in the stash when the Noctis gets here, but if I'd handed the mission in, that would have despawned, and that would be very bad. That would have been a terrible error. Luckily we have a Microwarpdrive, so we'll get there in no time at all. Good, turret's dead, turn everything else off. Reload to antimatter. Hope we've got enough juice in the tank to reach the stash. Then we'll go and hand the mission in. This has been by far the longest level 3 mission we've ever done. I think the longest one before this was the blockade, of course, 20 minutes. Yeah, we're approaching half an hour on this one. Right, let's not overshoot it, let's stop. And then the stash is... just a counterbalanced, compact gyro stab. Oh well. Right, let's hand the mission in. I promise you, sometimes that Terzam stash does drop domination modules. I found one fairly recently, so I know it's not an olden days thing I'm remembering, it is still current. Anyway, I shall see you back at the agent station. Alright, we're back in the agent station, so let's complete the mission. And that was 34 minutes from the minute we clicked accept to the moment we clicked complete. That's not bad considering there was 6 rooms, so what's that, 6 minutes a room, including the final room which took the longest of all with all the battleships. That's not bad. So I shall change over to the Noctis and grab all the loot from all these rooms, not that there's very many wrecks in any of them. And I shall come back and show you how much money we made in total. Okay, Noctis has been out and done his stuff. As we can see, the bounty payment has come in. There are 2 bounty payments here, so I shall add them together and then we'll go through how much we got. Agent mission pay, 791,000. Time bonus, 872,000. Bounty, when added together, is 5,727,070 ISK. Again, I'm assuming the 70 is from one of the gun turrets because they tend to have silly amounts of bounty. Loot and salvage, 8.4 million, of which 2 items are worth keeping. We got another one of these warp disruption field generators. This particular one apparently is worth just under 5 million. And we got an 800mm restrained armour plate worth 336,000. Salvage wise, all told 2.2 million, so nothing to write home about there. And when we add that to the 2,563 loyalty points, at a ballpark figure of 1,000 per loyalty point, we're looking at a grand total of 18.3 million ISK, which is by far the largest total amount we've had for any mission. But of course it did take us by far the longest time. It took us 34 minutes to complete this mission. If we had missed out on the bonus room, it would have sped up the time considerably, but we would have lost quite a lot of bounty because about 2.5 million of the bounty came from the 4 battleships we blew up in the bonus room. And of course, if Terzam's stash had dropped a domination module, that could be anywhere from a few thousand to a few tens or dozens or even hundreds of millions of ISK. So anyway, that was good fun, and come back next time and we'll have some more fun together. Until then, do look after yourself, and I'll speak to you again very soon.